As far as digital opportunities for the passenger experience, I think an area we see a lot of opportunity at JetBlue Ventures is within the loyalty space. It's really about recognizing the customer. But in order to recognize the customer, you have to know who that customer is. So any sort of digital opportunity now, I think, starts with a strong understanding of customer data, harnessing that data and using the data to make inferences, to recommend things to market, and to really customize that experience. We also see a lot of opportunities in the digital arena as far as airports, making that a very seamless experience for the customer from the second they get out of their car to when they're on the aircraft themselves. And that kind of ties into JetBlue Ventures has a kind of larger vision for a holistic, very kind of tied together travel ribbon rather than the disjointed experience that a lot of flyers have today. Yeah, so as far as bringing our venture investments back to the airline, we really work as a push and pull. So we find companies that we think are really at the precipice of innovation in the travel and hospitality space. And part of the way that we vet the companies before we invest in them is that we work with JetBlue and the subject matter experts there to leverage their knowledge to really validate that this is a strong idea and a strong company. And at that point, we typically get leadership buy-in and wanting to work with this startup. And then we will help JetBlue facilitate a proof of concept with the startup if it makes sense at that time. So as I mentioned, we are based in Silicon Valley out in California. JetBlue Airways is based in New York. So we have two crew members from the JetBlue Ventures team who are based out of the JetBlue headquarters in New York. One is the IT side, and he really makes sure that there's IT buy-in, that they are kind of project managing all the steps to set this proof of concept up for success. And then I also work on creating what those proof of concepts might be and ensuring that there's pull on the JetBlue Airways side, right? The JetBlue Ventures team doesn't want to only be pushing these startups onto the airline. We want to be sure that they want them, that they're excited about them, because working with startups we think is going to be one of the keys to innovation for JetBlue moving forward. As far as JetBlue Ventures as a model for other airlines, we hope so, right? I think so far we've brought quite a few startups back to JetBlue that have really made an impact on the business, whether it be cost savings, whether it be bringing new opportunities, or even better understanding our customers or the way that we sell our products. And as far as being a model for other airlines, we actually recently set up an international partnership program because not every airline or hotel group needs to set up a venture fund, right? There's limited kind of startups and deal flow in that space, and it's a lot of work and time to build out an office in Silicon Valley. So the way the partnership program works is the airline, hotel group, airport group, whatever the case may be, will actually have a member of their team based in our headquarters so that they can have access to these innovative companies that we're working with. And then that they can also run POCs with them. And then we also run workshops and education sessions around certain areas that they might be interested. For example, just last week, we had an event on blockchain and travel, which was very relevant to our partners and something that, really establishes us as thought leaders in the industry. The evolution of this show is really valuable to us. As you may know, JetBlue Airways does not fly to Europe. We fly down into Central and South America, but for us to have presence here is really important for a few reasons. One, just to help our portfolio companies. We're a strategic investor, right? So we're always looking at new ways we can bring in new customers, new concepts, models to our portfolio companies. Another piece of it is just the awareness. Because JetBlue does not fly here, there is a lack of awareness of the work we're doing at JetBlue Ventures. And it's very important to us that if there is a really great startup in the hospitality space, we see it. We want to see every great travel and hospitality deal out there that exists. And so having presence at a conference that's so specific to this space helps us meet those startups, meet hopefully potential international partners, and then also meet folks who may be able to introduce us to those startups or might be creating the next big thing themselves.